Welcome back to another live episode of Charger Bulletin News. We're going to start a little unconventionally today, but we've never had the opportunity to formally introduce ourselves. So I'm Emily Lavoie. I've been the producer of CBN for almost 2 years now.
And I'm Jason Cull, and I've been the director of CBN for almost 2 years now.
You haven't really seen us back here behind the scenes, but this is where the show comes to life. And we just wanted to take a moment to thank all of our viewers, our professors, advisors, and every single person who has aided us in our growth and support in making CBN into the program it has transformed into in such a short amount of time. So specifically, we want to thank Natalie Chavoya, our advisor, that has been with us every single step of the way, encouraging us to push the limits, to push to live, and to make sure that CBN had the room and opportunity to grow as big as it can before we graduate and move forward. But I also want to take the time to thank every single one of our CBN staff members. Without all of the laughs and heartaches and hard work behind closed doors, CBN would not have grown into the program it has become today. And this is truly a successful student-run program. So we just wanted to come on and say thank you for our time, and we cannot wait to see what CBN turns into as we all evolve into the next generation of the program. Enjoy the show.
This week, right here on Charger Bulletin News, nationwide updates as we access the ratings of President Trump, updates on the alleged New England serial killer, and important dates to keep in mind as we finish our spring semester, right here on Charger Bulletin News.
Welcome back to another live episode of Charger Bulletin News. I'm Hayden Leach.
And I'm Melissa Broche. Let's get right into this week's stories.
After every presidential inauguration, the first 100 days are a key benchmark for public approval and policy impact. Recent polling shows that President Trump's approval rating after his first 100 days in office stand at 39%, with a 55% disapproval among U.S. adults, marking one of the lowest early-term approval ratings in recent history. Part of this may be tied to the current state of the U.S. stock market. According to data from the Washington Post, the S&P index is down 8.6% at the 100-day mark. For comparison, during President Biden's first 100 days, the S&P 500 was up by the same percentage. To mark his 100th day in office, President Trump held a rally in Warren, Michigan, where he addressed supporters with a speech emphasizing his administration's accomplishments and future plans. He criticized recent polls showing low approval ratings, claiming they were biased, and asserted his real approval rating was between 60 and 70%. Trump highlighted efforts to implement massive tax cuts and tariffs, especially on China, allegedly claiming that it will reduce income tax for many Americans and halt offshoring of jobs. Social issues may also be influencing public opinion. Recent policy decisions, including recent restrictions to transgender athletes for competing in women's sports and funding disputes involving the Smithsonian Institution, have sparked nationwide debate. Make sure to keep up to date with your trusted news sources and stay informed about all potential changes in the political world.
While election date has passed in the U.S., the impact has migrated north, growing tension between President Trump and Canadian leadership. Following comments from Trump suggesting Canada would, quote, run better as the 51st state, Canadian voters went to the polls for their own federal election on April 28th. Liberal candidate Mark Carney defeated conservative Paul Poilievre, succeeding Justin Trudeau as prime minister. Carney inherits a divided political landscape and growing concern over U.S. and Canadian relations. A 25% tariff increase from the U.S. on Canadian goods like spirits, appliances, apparel, and paper products went into effect on March 4th with no signs of reversal. In a statement after the election, Carney responded saying, quote, President Trump is trying to break us so America can own us. That will never happen, end quote. With growing global anxieties, all eyes are on the Canadian leadership as they begin to navigate their shifting relations with the U.S. Now let's head to Leah with our final update in sports.
Welcome back to the Charger Sports Report. I'm Leah Komaraski, and I have lots of updates for you in the world of sports. Let's jump in. Girls lacrosse team took on Assumption University Saturday afternoon. A close game that ended 14-13, the Greyhounds unfortunately claimed the win. This game was the first of the Any10 playoffs, making this loss the end of our Chargers season. We started off with an early 3-0 lead, setting up for a dominant game. Assumption and New Haven went back and forth the entirety of the game. The Greyhounds pushed forward in the end with back-to-back goals, putting them up to 14. Very strong season, ladies, and we can't wait to see what's in store next year. Charger baseball took a trip to Waltham, Massachusetts last week, coming in hot and winning their doubleheader against Assumption University. The Chargers took Game 1 in 11 innings, just coming out with an 8-7 win. Game 2 was an easy dub, the boys taking it 9-5. They continued their Massachusetts trip with 2 games against Bentley University, unfortunately falling behind with a score of 4-5 in both of them. Their season isn't over quite yet, and we wish Charger baseball good luck. Moving to softball, the girls faced a doubleheader against Franklin Pierce University on our home field this weekend. The series ended less than ideally, with both games resulting in a loss. However, it was New Haven's annual Senior Day, where we got to celebrate with all of our seniors. Congratulations, Sophia Picciarelli, Olivia Roberto, Stephanie Smith, Cassidy Krill, and the rest of our Chargers softball team. Another Charger track and field athlete took home an NE10 award this week. Miana Quinones earned recognition for Rookie of the Week after placing 8th in high jump this past weekend, jumping at a height that places her as second best in the conference. Huge congratulations, Miana. Keep an eye out for our Chargers performance at their conference meet this weekend at Southern New Hampshire University. This weekend, sports have fierce competition home and away. Make sure to show up and show some support. For schedules and updates on Charger athletics, make sure to check out newhavenchargers.com. In the national world of sports, the 2025 NFL Draft delivered a weekend full of surprises, strategic moves, and notable storylines that will shape the upcoming season. But the biggest takeaway had to be the Colorado quarterback, Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders' unexpected drop to the 5th round raised eyebrows across the league. His father, Deion Sanders, expressed his discontent through a cryptic social media post, hinting at underlying frustrations. Frustration didn't stop there, as a prank call to Sanders took social media by storm. Let's take a look.
Hello?
You got that call?
Yeah, what's going on?
Ready to go!
Say it one more time for me.
This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you.
Ready to go!
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man.
No, for sure.
We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir, let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Ready to go!
What does that mean?
What? What'd he say?
I don't know.
How you gonna ask us what it means and you was on the phone?
You heard that?
You said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Sorry about that.
Why would
Despite the setback, Shedeur remained optimistic, emphasizing his faith in the process. The Browns recognized his potential, bolstering their offense by signing Pro Bowl wide receiver Deontay Johnson, aiming to provide Sanders with a strong target as he begins his NFL journey. As teams integrate their new draftees, the upcoming season promises to showcase fresh talent and strategic plays. The draft's outcomes have set the stage for intriguing developments and fans eagerly anticipating how these rookies will impact their respective teams. This has been your Charger Sports Report. CBN sends good luck to all spring sports finishing up their competitive season. We will be back this fall with more updates in the world of sports. Let's head over to Michael with entertainment.
Thanks, Leah. Welcome back to Entertainment. I'm Michael Crowley. We have some exciting news for you to keep you in the loop, so let's get right into it. Have the Hunger Games casting directors finally cracked the code? The franchise, beginning as a book series in 2008, made its big screen debut in 2012, and it's gearing up for its next chapter. Author Suzanne Collins recently announced a new addition to the franchise, Sunrise on the Reaping, set to hit theaters November 20th in 2026. The film will center around fan-favorite characters Hamish Abernathy and Effie Trinket. Casting news has already stirred fan excitement. So far, Joseph Zada will be Hamish, Whitney Peake as Lenore Dove Bird, McKenna Grace as Maisie Donner, and Jesse Plemons as Plutarch Heavensby. Surprisingly, fans have come together in total agreement of these casting choices. There's only one question left. Who will play Effie Trinket? Could it be Elle Fanning? What do you think? Calling all wizards and muggles. HBO is set to release a brand new Harry Potter TV show in 2027. The show is set to be as accurate to the books as possible, with each season focusing on the corresponding book. With the release of this show, many people began to question who the cast will be. HBO did not disappoint, and they released the actors playing our loving professors. Dumbledore is set to be played by John Lithgow, Snape by Papa Essadou, and McGonagall as Janet McTeer. The infamous half-giant Hagrid is set to be played by Nick Frost. Our golden trio has not yet been casted, but fans remain excited after those already casted. J.K. Rowling is set to be an executive producer for the series, ensuring that the TV series will remain faithful to the books. Are you excited for the series adaptation? Who do you think will be decided as the boy who lived? Prime Video just dropped the new trailer for the final season of The Summer I Turned Pretty, sending waves of excitement and a few tears through fans. Set to Taylor Swift's Daylight, the trailer starts with the iconic characters of Belly and Jeremiah in full college couple bliss until taking a dramatic turn. A snowy scene reveals Conrad's return, now underscored by Swift's red, foreshadowing heartbreak and tension. Season 3 of the hit series will be premiering July 16th only on Prime Video. As summer continues to grow near, fans are left with one question: Team Jeremiah or Team Conrad? Stagecoach 2025 was full of surprises and star power. Luke Combs kicked off the weekend, taking the main stage with a high-energy set, even bringing out Garth Brooks for a duet on the classic Friends in Low Places. Jelly Roll wowed fans with guest appearances from T-Pain and MGK, blending country and hip-hop in a crowd-hyping performance. Zach Bryan delivered a more emotional set, connecting deeply with the audience. Lana Del Rey debuted her new song, 57.5, sparking buzz around the lyrics, possibly geared towards Morgan Wallen. Wallen later closed out the show with Hardy, Post Malone, and a fireworks finale. The crowd went wild as the trio performed together, creating one of the most unexpected collaborations of the night. Stagecoach was packed with memorable moments, blending country legends, rising stars, and unexpected surprises that kept fans talking long after the festival ended. Hello, you. We're back in the big city. It's windy, bright, in a bookstore with a bell that jingles, yells back my name. I've been waiting. The last season of You hit Netflix April 24th. For you non-watchers, here's a quick recap without any spoilers. Joe Goldberg is a bookworm who finds himself with thoughts other than just literature. He embarks on a path of finding himself, which leads him to bad situations and different cities. After a 2-year hiatus from the creators of You, the 5th and final season of the psychological thriller show is now here. Returning members of the cast, Penn Badgley, who plays the icon Joe himself, is reprising his role along with Charlotte Ritchie playing Kate, Joe's wife. This new season focuses on a new storyline in NYC with some familiar details along the way. I'm only on season 3, so please no spoilers. This is the series conclusion, so be sure to tune in and rewatch all the prior seasons. Don't know where to watch? Don't worry, Joe gave us some tips. Head over to Netflix, Apple TV, the Google Play Store, or Prime Video. That's all I got for this week. I'm Michael Crowley. We'll be back next semester to keep you up to date with all things entertainment. Back to the desk, Hayden.
On Sunday, police received reports of a body floating in the Connecticut River near Ferry Park shortly before 9 a.m. The body was recovered, but the deceased has not been identified. Authorities are currently awaiting results from the medical examiner's office. The discovery has led to more worries about a potential serial killer in New England following the discovery of another 9 bodies across the region in the past 2 months. The town of Rocky Hill, where the body was found, lies along the I-91 corridor, the same highway that connects to Springfield, Massachusetts, where another body was discovered last week. This corridor also runs through New Haven, where a 3rd body was previously located. The remaining cases involved bodies found in Norwalk, Groton, and Killingly, Connecticut, as well as Foster, Rhode Island, and Framingham, Plymouth, and Taunton, Massachusetts. Most of the victims identified so far have been women. 3 have been publicly named: Denise Leary, Paige Fannin, and Michelle Romano. Despite speculation, Connecticut State Police have denied any confirmation link between the cases. In a statement to Fox News Digital said, quote, "There is no information at this time suggesting any connection to similar remains discoveries, and there is no threat to the public at this time," end quote. None of the causes of death have been released. Make sure to stay up to date with your local news sources and always be cautious of your surroundings when traveling alone or in groups. Stay safe, Chargers.
Coming up, an exciting new partnership for the university and crucial days you'll want to keep in mind as we finish our semester. But first, let's head to Will with all things student life.
Welcome back to Student Life. I'm Will Whalen, and we have lots of updates for you as we dive into the end of the semester. Let's get started. With Pride Month just around the corner, our campus kicked off the celebration in style. Last Thursday, students competed for the crown at Pride Club's 4th annual drag extravaganza at North Campus. Contestants came together to serve their fiercest looks on the runway with some extra sparkle from guest judges Bleach, Zaddy Addy, Jeloni, and Angel Rivers. The energy was electric as students slayed up the stage, lip-synced for their lives, and gave the front row a show they'll never forget. And let me tell you, I was gagged. The club crowned 3 student winners, but honestly, everyone was snatched, fabulous, and a winner in my book. Elections for positions on the Pride e-board are open until May 5th. If you're interested in a position, please reach out to the Pride Club at pride@newhaven.edu. Okay, you guys ready? Starting today, New Haven is preparing for an exciting and activity-packed spring weekend. Starting today through this weekend, hosted by Scope, this annual event is one of the most anticipated traditions on campus, designed to give undergraduate students a fun and memorable way to celebrate the end of the semester. The weekend kicks off on today with free spring weekend t-shirt giveaway and an outdoor screening of Camp Rock on the Bixler-Gerber Quad. Tomorrow, students can participate in Field Day at Maxi Quad, featuring games like volleyball, foursquare, and cornhole, followed by the Spring Jamboree concert that evening, where student performers will open for this year's headliner, Quavo. Saturday brings the Campfire Carnival, complete with food trucks, carnival rides, games, crafts, and chances to win big prizes like a PS5. The weekend will wrap up on Sunday with a camp cookout in collaboration with the Fire Science Department, featuring lawn games, crafts, and everyone's favorite, therapy dogs. With free admission, food, entertainment, and giveaways, Spring Weekend promises to conclude the 2024-2025 school year on a high note. That's all for this week. Enjoy the rest of your semester, Chargers, and we'll be back this fall to keep you up to date with everything student life. Back to you, Hayden.
April 24th, the university announced a new partnership with Hartford Healthcare, Connecticut's leading healthcare network. This marks Hartford Healthcare's first ever collaboration with a university. Jeffrey Flax, president and CEO of Hartford Healthcare, said, quote, "I could not be prouder of this collaboration. By integrating innovative virtual care solutions and highly personalized coordinated care, we are empowering students to thrive academically and personally, enhancing the overall success of the campus community," end quote. As part of the partnership, Hartford Healthcare will oversee the university's counseling and psychological services and offer specialized sports medicine and rehabilitation for student athletes. Students and staff will have access to faster, more reliable care from professionals right here on campus. President of New Haven, Jens Fredrickson, added, quote, "In taking these important resources to an entirely new level, we are committing to providing high-quality services when and where our students need them. This is critical to ensuring they are maximizing their return on investment," end quote. The new clinic will focus on primary care, preventative screenings, mental health, referrals, and off-site urgent care, and is set to launch fall of 2025. For questions about the upcoming health center, reach out to Dave Cranshaw, Director of Communications and Public Relations at dcranshaw@newhaven.edu. This partnership ensures the Charger community can look forward to stronger support systems and expanded care in all areas of campus. What's your new take on the partnership?
Before we close out today's show, we want to make sure you're prepared for what is remaining for the rest of the semester. Here are some important dates to keep in mind. Our final day of classes will be this Monday, May 5th. Tuesday, May 7th is our only reading day to prepare for final exams. Finals will begin Wednesday, May 8th with the last day on May 13th. All university dining halls will be closing after dinner on May 13th, with resident halls closing the following morning, May 14th at 10. Graduate and undergraduate student commencements will be held on that Friday and Saturday. Any students participating in commencement will have until May 18th at 10 a.m. to leave their residence halls. We wish you all good luck on your final exams and congratulations to the class of 2025.
That's all the time we have for this week.
You can check out the latest Charger Bulletin newspaper on chargerbulletin.com or in newsstands around campus.
Stay up to date by following us on social media at Charger Bulletin.
Check out our link tree for access to the Horseshoe magazine.
We want you! If you're interested in joining CBN, reach out to Charger Bulletin News at newhaven.edu.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Elisa Broche.
And I'm Hayden Leach. Good luck on your finals and congratulations to the class of 2025. Wait, that's us!
We will be back this fall with more episodes of Charger Bulletin News.